All right, got it. All right. So BCG Matrix have got this four very, very cute and exciting logo. So you have a question mark, you have a star, there's a cow here, and a dog.
Honestly, Andrea, I think the last time I honestly studied about this easily 20 over years ago in my textbook. So how is it relevant to us today after so long, so long?
Wow. Okay. Great question, Claire. That's where exactly I want to begin talking about this BCG growth matrix, or BCG matrix, more commonly known as, is because a lot of times, a lot of money, time, resources are actually put on this thing called cash cow. We always focus, people say that, hey, when you do whatever you do, you must have laser focus and do that one thing that gives you the 80% yield, right? So that's mainly where the cash cow is.
The laser focus of focusing at one thing at a time.
Correct. However, in the more recent times where pandemic hit, and if your cash cow is no longer there, what do? Was there a need for some R&D to be done even prior to this pandemic coming?
Andrea, I remember one advice that my mom gave me when I asked her, Mom, you studied your MBA, in AIM Philippines. What is the one thing that you remember from your lecturer?
Mm-hmm.
She said, the lecturer said, the one thing she remembered is that don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Always don't focus on two things at one time. So at the time, I was just finished school. I got a job, and I said, how can I manage two things? How can I focus on two things? But today it is so relevant.
I don't have a MBA previous experience to share. I have a life experience to share.
Yeah.
So
share with us.
My late mother, she used to be a hairdresser in Johor Bahru. And what happens is that about 30 years, I would say more than 30 years ago, she passed away more than 20 over years ago. So 30 over years ago, my dad actually it crossed across his mind. It came across his mind and shared with my mom, other than having a salon where people come and do their hair, why don't you provide the going to their doorstep to do the bridal makeup, to do the hair, and then do for the rest of the relatives that needs the hair and the makeup done because they'll be in the picture. So imagine this advice was given like 30 over years ago. Yeah, and she's probably the very first one who ever have done that.
Wow. Imagine 30 over years ago.
Yeah. So on one end, people say that, hey, laser focus. On another end, there's also the word diversification. Or these days, the Shark Tanks likes to call it side hustles. What's your side hustle then?
What's your side hustle then? Let's talk about some of the professions that have been really hit unexpected. There could be a cash cow profession right before the pandemic. Okay, let's talk about what are some professions you think.
Hoteliers? Hoteliers, perhaps?
Definitely.
Yep. Of course, hoteliers were already having that competition because with the increase of Airbnb at one time.
Yeah, in fact, the Airbnb is totally, really affected because our borders are closed until we don't know when. It could be longer than next year, than up to 2021.
Yep. And especially I come from Johor Bahru. My hometown is in Johor Bahru, even though I live in KL now. And when I got back to just pay a visit to my dad in July, it was surprisingly quiet in all the malls because that's the border to Singapore.
Right. And the worst part was when Singapore also had their own lockdown, and people in Johor Bahru, Malaysia, they could not travel daily to work in Singapore. That was really, and many
Yeah.
had to let go their jobs. And imagine those who are in already in their late 30s, 40s, lost their jobs. It's not as easy as getting another job within 3 months, 6 months. In fact, I hear of my friends, almost a year, some of them without a job.
Yep. And I think these few days we saw a made famous article in the, whether it's the Age Malaysia that you saw, or it's on your FB or even on your LinkedIn, was this lady that was pushing her shopping cart with the nasi lemak on it, because one is she couldn't afford the rental of the stores anymore, and people are not dining in anyway, so it's better off for her to just go to door.
Yes. So like the story that you share with us about your mother, who actually just not just hairdressing, but she went on to bridal makeup. And I bet she had a big bag, right? Put all her things inside.
She
Was
had
it a
got
bag
a bag of that toolbox of a makeup,
box? Yeah.
and then she had another one which is all her hairdressing stuff.
She would just go to the homes
and
and
and they picked the right thing, because those days people generally only perm their hair once a year.
oh yeah.
Once a year, which is Chinese New Year or Hari Raya or Deepavali, which is that festive. And then that whole perming of hair, probably like it's like 20 ringgit, 30 ringgit max. I remember that amount.
Wow.
And if that diversification didn't quite happen, to earn another buck during the festive, the happy moments where people spend money, then when would it be that people will be spending money?
And
So what?
makeup, yeah, makeup could be something you can use during dinner. It could be more few times in a month.
Yep. I guess perhaps those days, right, like makeup wasn't so common that you have a lot of makeup at home, kind of thing. So whenever she does makeup, I always remember this, because I'm the what they call a black pin girl. What I mean by a black pin girl is, whenever she do people's hair, she needs those black pin. I'm one of
Yes.
those girl that stand beside and put all the black pins on my finger and hold it up so that it's easier for her to just maneuver.
Ah,
So I'm that black pin girl that stands there. Yeah,
Blackpink girl.
yeah. So what happens is that you realize, if she finish off the bride very quickly, she get repeats of everybody else that needs to get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
For the whole
So
family, yeah.
yeah, more or less the whole family, whoever else that's needed it, the flower girl, etc., etc., etc. So it was a great diversification. It was a nice side hustle that she already have these skills. Perhaps a little bit of learning of new skills, like makeup, which is not too far from that beauty line anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrea, I want to ask you, let's talk about ourselves. I want to ask you, like, anything that you diversify ever since March, where we had the lockdown,
I
pandemic,
have
February. Yeah,
I have. For one thing that most of my friends knows me for is I usually travel about 5 to 10 days every single month.
5 to 10 days every single month throughout the world, right? Understand?
Yep,
Sure, throughout the world.
yep. And now it's very much I travel even more throughout the world.
Yeah, via Zoom.
Zoom. No airlines, just Zoom. Yep, that's one. And I find that it's so much faster, and it helps me with building my mission even faster.
Mm.
Yeah, because I've actually publicly declared that my mission is to inspire 1 billion people
Nice.
to achieve their financial freedom. Yep. And I'm someone who I love that side hustle. So you can see that this pair of earrings, these
Yes.
are things that I also hustle in.
Yes.
I like to make things like that.
So you see, Andrea, you don't see any earrings on me, and I hope the next session I can have a pair of earrings that you can
Hint, hint,
hint,
hint.
hint, hint. You see me with a pair of earrings next, hopefully.
Woohoo.
um, so So you've started, where did you learn the skill to make
I've
this?
I've always liked all these craft and art bit of things. It's just that, hey, with the 5 to 10 days traveling every month, I'll be either
Mhm.
too tired or I don't think I want to take out my toolbox at all when I get home. I just want to have more time with the kids when I get home. This couple of months being home is the time where I can dig out that old toolbox that I have. And gosh,
So you see, you took up your old tools. These are the talents and skills you acquired much earlier, right, in your life?
yep, yep, yep. To the extent I actually went for formal class in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So those days whenever I'm working, I'll check out for these sort of classes, and I'm going to short classes just to learn a couple of things. Like my friends, they could be learning like the 3D jelly making, cakes, etc., etc. I'm sure each and every one we have that hobby skills.
Right. Yeah. Like for me, yeah, I've been doing training for the past 18 years, 1-8. And when the pandemic lockdown happened in March, and then I visualize, I ask myself, so what happened if things don't go back to normal, as in, what happened if we don't find a cure for the disease, or I don't know I can visualize so well because I used to work in this infection. I was an infection control specialist taking care of 71 hospitals, and they used to send me. I went to UK, and I remember I went to the largest hospital, and I learned, and I was like, oh my gosh, if this ever hit our country or our world, we watch videos about what could happen in the future. So
Yep.
I was very good at visualizing, and like yourself, you remembered about your hobby. So I took me some time. You see, this is like the second lockdown that we are having after April, May, June, July, August, September, and I'm looking at what are my strengths, my first passion and first love actually for children and youth, because I first started my business in children and youth. So I'm coming back to serve the community. Mm.
So that's
I,
our side hustle.
I
If you have
hustle.
a side hustle, I know we have Lou watching, Samantha watching, Anita as well as Royce watching us. If you have a side hustle or hobby that you love, could you just write that in the comments so that we could actually share what's your passion there and what's your hobby there? So our very first love between Claire and me, it's about sales, which is our sales sparring specialist.
Yes. And that's why we are here, because we are pivoting our business from corporate directly to freelancers, agents, you're a sole proprietor
Your
and you're on
network
your own.
marketeers, your
Parents.
gig workers. Yes, we are talking to you. For those that think that, hey, when am I going to talk about the stars, the question mark, the dog? Please hold on. We'll take it through on the next few episodes, one at a time.
We're not here to bore you with theories, because honestly, you can just Google and type BCG growth metrics and it all come out. But we're here to talk about life stories. I think that's more important, and how we can relate to them, how we can adapt fast and pivot fast. Yeah.
Definitely. And this word fast, it's really, really important at this moment.
So sales wiring specialists, we want to help people to come out faster, smarter, and greater.
If you have not actually adapted to being on a digital platform, neither have you got any more leads left or pipelines, yes, we would love to actually connect with you as well.
You are not alone, because doing it alone, that's how I felt earlier. Wow. So I'm so glad that when I met Andrea and we can create this community, not only are we helping each other, we're helping our friends, our community. And trust me, every week, 3 times a week, we are on FB Live. And until end of the year, we are going to have easily 30 different topics.
This FB Live is not because we shock Sandevi, yeah? It is because of you that make us want to be here and want to share what we know.
And we'd rather be here than out there relaxing ourselves on a Friday night. I mean, it's just Zoom, being on cloud now is just my hobby. Yeah.
And Claire, since we are on the 8th episode, perhaps you want to use the 8th word or number 8 to tell us what's exactly we are offering.
Yes. What are we offering? We are launching the first. No, it's always great to be a pioneer. It's always great to be a pioneer. Sales wearing specialist program for only 188 ringgit. Take out your calculators, ladies and gentlemen. 188 ringgit for 8 sessions. Each session is only 1.5 hours. That's equivalent to about 20 over ringgit Malaysia. For our friends in Brunei, that will be about 7 Brunei dollars only. Yeah, it's like a cup of coffee for yourself in Starbucks. Now, why are we doing this so reasonable? If we do it free, I mean, you need to have a commitment, right? So commit, come on. And the kind of topics that we're putting up are, we're not going to just spend time chit-chatting, whatever, but there'll be real life topics, an approach of see, say, do, get.
So for our friends in Malaysia, each session costs you 23 ringgit 50 cents. For friends in Brunei, this is less than $8 per session.
So I know I left out some countries.
Oh, yep.
Because by the time this hits the world, like you say, Andrea, you want to hit 1 billion people. So I know this is going down in history because whatever we do on the cloud is going to be there forever unless we delete it.
Yep.
I'm very excited. Very excited because the world now is flat. Not like before, we have to think about buying our air ticket, doing orientation, check out the weather, check this, check that. Now it's just one call, one WhatsApp, and I'll see you online within a few minutes. That's the power.
Initially, when this book was launched, The World is Flat, I didn't quite understand what that title was about. What do you mean? I know it's round. Why do you tell me it's flat?
Why is it flat?
I didn't get it. However, what I really understood after that first lockdown was the amount of countries that I could reach within a day. Let's not talk about within how many months that we're at home. Within a day, have been more than what my feet could bring me.
Wow. And I like this BCG growth metrics because it makes us think what is our service right now, what is our product right now. So like, for example, you could be, if you're in an organization, you're a freelancer or you're in network marketing and you have so many products. So you may want to look at what product you want to focus in, which is the one at higher PV, the one that helps you to grow your team, gives you more profitability. And this, is it a high market growth, low market growth, market share, is it low or high? So we can talk about this long whole day. This is one way that you can plot and you can plan.
Yep. And for those that is planning for their 2021, this is perhaps one good chart or matrix that you want to spend a little bit of time. Something worthwhile for you to allocate your time and energy and focus to.
And I also learned, maybe earlier days, we thought about we can plan every once a year. But right now, because things move so fast, it could even be monthly. You can look at things at a monthly eye view. Yeah.
So keeping it very neat in a chart like this, in a 4 quadrants like that, give you that one look and hey, you know where you are.
Correct. And you can tweak your strategy. It could be just one product that you have, just one. Maybe you want to look at how maybe you change your target market, you change your approach, you change your strategy, a lot of things. That's why in our sales wiring specialist program, we are going to share with you the magic formula.
I recently seen someone on Facebook, and one of the things that this person pivoted to is for the liking of people that likes keto
diet.
Keto diet. So instead of making the same old cake where you have thousands of competitors, so quickly and so smart was just to make keto friendly cakes.
Nice.
That's so brilliant.
In fact, my general practitioner, Dr. Felsi, said to us, said to in our group recently that, as a doctor now I'm trying out keto diet because it's not about, there's a way that we can stop our medication like blood pressure, high cholesterol. Is changing the way we eat and live. Now that's amazing. That's amazing if the doctors can also change their mindset and really help us change our diet and just stop this medication.
If one day you all like to learn more about the keto, I'm more than happy to invite one of my very, very close friends to actually share a little bit more with us as well.
Great.
And I'm learning from him too at the moment.
And the best part is keto is it's not like you have to pay someone to every time, right? You just learn and you can do it on your own. The menus you can create on your own too.
And that's all available on Sales Wiring Specialist is because I don't only just look at the sales bit of thing. We look at the whole entire wheel of life. Because if you don't have better health, better wellness, what are we going to do? Time is limited.
Time is limited and we are already close ending 2020 and there is no guarantee everything is coming back to normal in 2021. There's no more what normal.
What normal, Claire? What normal?
Normal.
This is the normal.
This is the normal. And get ready for some more unique normalness.
Yep. Yep. So we look forward to seeing you. Continue to share your comments as well as if you have any inquiries or things that you would like to leave us a comment about, feel free to PM either Claire or me.
Yes. We have another week to go. And then we're starting our program. But we're still going to go live every 3 times a week. Share this message to the world.
Yep.
It's not where you were before, but where you are now and where you're going to go. So don't feel bad, don't feel down. It's okay. Sales wiring specialists are here. We're going to come with our rap song. Like they have Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? Let's Ghostbusters, right? So sales wiring specialists will come out soon with our song, our rap.
Yep. right here, right now, and it's going to be very, very soon that we'll all see you very, very soon. That
you see the brain and the heart. Yeah? So you want to share a bit, Andrea, about the brain and the heart?
okay. So why we selected this logo was very much because being just a lot of times when we are buying anything, you also realize that people actually tells you a lot about the products, nothing but every single features of the product.
They go on and on and on and on about the product.
And the script never kind of end nowhere. When
then you're waiting, oh gosh, when's it going to end?
When can I just pause and say, actually, I don't understand what you're talking about? Okay, so that bit kind of like doesn't quite turn me on whenever I hear one of those scripts, whether it's on the phone or whether it's face to face. And what's better, it's where you see that red heart there. It's when someone can actually relate it to the emotions bit, to the heart side, where you start asking me question. What am I looking for? What problems do I want to solve? What's my pain point? What will make me happy? That sort of more emotional side of the questions that could actually help me realize and close that sales eventually. For example, if you have a product that can instantly give me better metabolic rate or increase my focus or increase my confidence kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's how we come up with this two logo, because this logo as a whole, it's to connect that two bit, the logic bit and the emotional bit, that put together both of the product knowledge as one of it, and the other side of it is, can you actually relate to human beings' pain point? Feel me a bit better, so I feel that you are genuine towards my interest as well.
So those who come on on our sales wiring specialist, they'll have an opportunity to do a pitch to learn,
Yep.
to learn the secrets. Huh?
Yep. And there will be secrets onto how do you actually use these emotional selling techniques as well.
Okay, it's exciting.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
Yep.
Have a great weekend.
Good night and
Good
happy
night.
weekend. See you
Weekend
next Monday.
on Monday. Bye.